Coming to you live from New York City, it's Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party. And now, here's your host, Jim Caruso.
Thank you, Billy Stritch. That he's over there. He's not. Welcome to Pajama Cast Party. This is our 16th episode of this fine television program that you're watching. I couldn't be happier that you're here. I couldn't be happier that I'm here. Geez, in these horrible times, it's just giving me such a great thing to look forward to. So this is our 16th show. I looked it up, and when it's someone's 16th anniversary, the presents are wax, because that's nice, or silver hollowware. And I had to look that up because I wasn't sure what that was. I thought it was silverware, like flatware. No, it's anything but flatware that you can put on your table, like a silver bowl, a silver candlestick. So if you get me a silver candlestick and a candle, that would take care of the silver and the wax situation. Before we go any further, I want to show a video clip that my friend Christine Lavin sent me. It's so much fun. It's a great singer named Heidi Burson. She lives in Nashville. Ruby, can you show this little ditty? I love this.
Dear America, I've got something to say. And if you don't want to hear it, well then go on about your day. But wear a mask so we can celebrate. Please wear a mask so we can congregate. Just wear the mask. Nobody's trying to take your rights away. And if you're gonna make that face, we'd rather you cover it up anyway. Wear a mask so we can get our jobs back. The world ain't spinning around you. I know that's hard to hear, but wear a mask. Oh, and I hope this message gets through. Everything is not about you. Just be kind, listen, and join me in this task. Please wear a, just wear the freaking mask. Please wear a mask.
I love her. What about that voice? Heidi Burson, who are you? You guys, go to her website, Heidi Burson, BURSON.com. Find her, follow her. We need to get her on this show. Absolutely. And thank you, our friend Christine Lavin, who's just the best at finding great people that we don't know. God, what a gorgeous voice. And that's a hilarious, wonderful lyric. Wear a mask, people. Anyway, she'll join us live and in person very soon, I hope. Okay, tonight, this show is going to kill you. In order of appearance, Sally Mays, Jim Clayton, Nicole Henry, Jay Rodriguez, Monty Alexander, and Colin O'Leary. I mean, what else could you need? Ruby, come in here. Ruby Lochner, trusty producer. Are you here?
Hello, Jim. I was just drinking out of my Cast Party Hollowware in honor of our 16th episode. Hello, everybody.
I have some wax for you for later.
Thank you so much. I will hang it on my wall. Jim, you know Heidi's watching. She's been commenting.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, I threw it on the screen. I didn't know if you saw it. So let me put it up one more time just to give her credit where credit is due. She said, She said, oh, hey, I set the reminder and it worked. Hello, Jim. Aww. And then I think when we were talking about having her on, she said, haha, cheers.
Okay. I think, did I just lose everybody.
What did you do? I see you.
I don't know. Hold on. Are you seeing me?
Yep. Do you see me?
No, I lost everything. Wait, hold on. Oh,
Ladies
there
and
you
gentlemen,
go.
please hold. Jim lost everything.
That was terrifying, but I'm back. Okay. I was trying to get to the comments section, but every time I do that, bad things happen. So I'm not even going to try. Okay.
Well, that's why I moderate the comments.
That's a good choice. Ruby, it is number 16. And the most fun thing about this is we have to hawk our wares every week because as the people might have heard, there's a global pandemic, in the words of Julie Halston. Yes. And we don't get to do our job, our normal jobs. So we do these things. And of course, now we're learning to love doing these things.
Of course, yeah.
But we ask our friends to help us out a little bit, to pay for this platform that you're seeing here, to pay some of our expenses. But most importantly, each week we give a percentage of your gifts to Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, the COVID Emergency Assistance Fund, which just they help thousands and thousands of people who are in the theater performing all over the country, not just performers, the guys that pull the curtain, the people who do the wigs, the ushers, it's everybody that's involved in showbiz all over the country. They help out during this devastating time. They provide basic living expenses, medications, housing, insurance, wherever anybody needs help, they help. Those are our friends, the angels at Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. So we're always thrilled to be able to send them some money every week. So thank you in advance for that. And Ruby, what do you have to say?
We'll be doing some shout outs throughout the night as always. So please be sure to tip. I said this last week. I didn't see any tips over the $1 million mark. So I'll say it again this week just as a reminder.
The
first person who tips us $1 million, we will come live with you. You're welcome, America. And we will bring our own hollowware, courtesy of PajamaCastParty.com. See how I did that? It's right there. It's right there. So that's my little reminder for the night. If you like the mug, if you want some pajamas to sport, I'm wearing some pajamas tonight because I felt guilty for not wearing them every single week. Go to PajamaCastParty.com, pick up the merch. It's super fun. And post a picture with your merch, without your merch, just watching the show. Use the hashtag PajamaCastParty. I think that's it. I'm running through all the notes in my head.
It's all
but
good.
It's a great show. I'm so excited. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jim.
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
I don't know. Am I going to say what you think I'm going to say?
Are you going to talk about squigs?
No. Well, I am, but I had one more really exciting announcement first.
What is it?
Well, as the producer of the show, I feel like it's kind of my job to do the nerdy tech talk. But this week, we have some very exciting tech announcements. They might seem like small upgrades right now, but within the coming weeks, we are going to be rolling out some really cool changes to the YouTube channel. If you are watching via YouTube, you might have already seen that we changed the name of the channel. So, Jim, do you want to just mention that a little bit?
Yes, it used to be called Jim Caruso. Now it's called CNN. Is that weird? Was that used? No, now it's called the Cast Party Network, so that we can produce all kinds of shows. We're already producing Julie Halston's show called Virtual Halston, which is one of the most fun things ever, that happens every Friday at 5:00. But more and more programming for you, the viewing public.
Yes, and might I just say, just to throw it out there, Jim, I know we didn't really speak about this, but I feel like it might be kind of fun. And we have some amazing audience members who watch our show every week. If you know somebody that has a cool story, they don't have to be involved in the theater industry. They don't have to be involved in the jazz community. If you just have somebody, or you know somebody who wants a platform for their talent, email castpartynetwork@gmail.com. we're going to start going through those and looking for like potential people to add to the network and to the channel. So if you have the time and you have a person and you have a story, send it our way.
Send it. Very nice. Now, every couple weeks, and actually for the past 3 weeks, our friend Justin Squiggs Robertson has been sitting in his apartment here in New York City, watching the show and doing quick sketches of us. He's a genius caricature artist, beloved by the Broadway community. And he's watching tonight. And so I think is he doing something right now? Ruby?
Yes.
Can we put a camera on him right now?
Absolutely.
Let's see what he's, oh, those are my eyebrows.
And how could you miss my glasses?
Your glasses, my eyebrows. Squigs, this is so good. Oh, that's my nose. Jeez. It's just a few lines, but they're, I mean, how lucky are we? A party without Squigs is just a Zoom call. You can quote me. Okay. Yep. Subscribe to our damn YouTube page. It's right down there. I like doing that. Let's get this show on the road. Our first guest, Sally Mays. I've known Sally Mays since our days living in Dallas, Texas during the 80s. That's the 1980s. She moved to New York City with her club act and subsequently got an off-Broadway show, then a Broadway show, all like within about 10 minutes of moving here. She was Tony nominated for her performance in She Loves Me on Broadway. She has been very busy over the past few decades performing in theater, clubs, concert halls. Please give a big yeehaw to my old friend, Sally Mays.
Hi, honey. I got you something. I got you a rose wax candle.
Oh,
and I got you a silver sugar bowl because I heard it was your 16th anniversary.
That's right. That's so
wonderful?
beautiful. Thank you.
I'll box them up and send them.
Thanks so much. I like that my phone rang just right in the middle of that. Sal, thanks for being here and entertaining the nice people with Pajama Cast Party.
I am so happy to be here. And that's my darling husband, Bob Renino on bass behind me. And
hi, Bob. Bob, how are you?
This is our fabulous living room.
I know, it looks so cute and so cozy and so nice.
Well, we've been in it for a while, so it's not so cute to us.
Are you wearing pajamas? Am I getting a pajama thing from you?
Pajama thing. I did a kind of a Rosie the Riveter thing, first of all, because I have roots, but also because I'm singing a song kind of like that's from the, the song book. And so that's the excuse.
I like that. Well, okay, before we even talk, I want to pull up a great photo of us. This is going to surprise you. I don't know if you've seen this for a while. Ruby.
Oh my Lord, look at you. Oh my
me.
Oh my Lord.
That was us in 1985.
We were adorable. And
we
so
were Hall & Oates. We were Hall & Oates.
We were.
Or Siegfried and Roy. I'm not sure. That's a cute picture.
It's a cute picture.
We were deep into the 80s scene.
Oh my goodness. And we dressed it too, boy, did we?
Evidently. But we look okay now. We've aged okay. You've aged well.
Well, I think you have too. I think we're very cute.
That's kind of what I go for.
I don't go for beautiful or glamorous. I go for cute.
I go for clean. So Sally, I've known you about 35 years.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Longer.
But it seems longer. But even though I've known you for so long, last night when I was putting the show together, I Googled you.
No.
Well, yeah, because, there are things you forget. And I found the most hilarious clip of Seth Rudetsky deconstructing you in a show called Closer Than Ever, when you were singing "You Want to Be My Friend."
He was
It
cute.
is so funny, and he talks about your vibrato and how great it is, and how you go, "You want to be my friend," and every time you do the vibrato, he does that with his hand. I was screaming with laughter, but being deconstructed by Seth is the highest form of flattery. It's like a Tony.
Well, what's really funny about that is that until I got into that show, I didn't really, you will remember this from hearing me sing, I didn't really use a vibrato. I always sang with straight tones, and I was trying to imitate Lynn Wintersteller, who was my co-star. I was imitating her vibrato to match it because we sang lots of things together.
Yeah.
And so that was really Lynn Wintersteller's vibrato he was talking about. So,
I hope you gave it back. She might want that at some point.
I decided I just would keep my voice.
You guys together were so well. That whole cast was thrilling.
You know, we did a thing right before everything shut down at the Bistro Awards. They honored David and Richard, and of course David came in at the very last minute because he didn't want to get sick. And we both sang our songs, and we sat in the back, and then we took the train home together because we take the same train from Grand Central. She gets off earlier, and we just sat and giggled and laughed and had the best talk. It was so wonderful to see her. Haven't seen her in a while. So
she's a brilliant singer. But that whole cast was pretty amazing.
Well, we had Brent Barrett, who, he's no slouch. And we had Bob Bernino on bass. That's how I met my husband.
That's right. I remember all of that.
We had a song, and I blew in his ear, and it was over. And do you want to hear this story? They brought me to the theater to audition bass players because David Shire had written this song for me, right? And it was because he knew I could scat sing. And so I had to come in early, and I was so over it. And I come into the theater, the little Cherry Lane, and I'm sitting there next to David. And these three guys walk on stage. And one of them was this like 6'8" Rasta braided guy, big, huge black guy. And then the second guy who came on was this little nebbishy kind of pharmacist looking kind of guy with little round glasses, receding hairline, very sweet. And then this hunky Italian came on, and I was sitting there next to David, and I just went, I want him.
Musically speaking, of course.
Yes, musically speaking. And I got him. So it was fun. And we're coming up on 30 years next year. It's like, oh my God.
That's
I don't know what that is. I think it's pearls. So just remember, I gave you wax.
Okay. Who
Don't
could forget?
And
The
I
wax
always do my big birthdays at your club. I always, for those of you watching, I always come like on the big ones. I come and do a concert, and I'll invite all my friends who I've sung with, and we have the best, crazy, sloppiest time, and we eat cake, and it's wonderful. And so
When's the next one?
In about 10 years, if I'm still here. Have you been well? Have you been safe? Has everything been good with you?
Oh, yeah. I've been wearing a mask. I mean, I should knock on wood because, everybody thinks they're being safe. But I've been wearing a mask. And Billy Stritch and I did a gig the night before everything closed at the Carlisle Hotel. And I was in black leather gloves because I didn't want to touch anything. And I was cleaning the mic with the Clorox wipes and when you could still get them. Yeah. And I was singing, holding the black leather mic. And Billy said, "You look like a murderer." So that was nice. But I did.
And I was supposed to do a show called Pure Country with Levi Christ. I was so excited about working with him. And
I love him.
He's lovely. Because we had a big long phone confab because we didn't get to rehearse together because I got down there and they canceled it the day I got down there. And so I had to come right back. So I flew twice right after everything closed down.
Perfect.
Yeah. But it was, it's been like this weird time for us. I've been growing vegetables. Here's my tomato and here is my zucchini.
Salad.
And there's more to come.
Salad.
No, don't go there. But yeah, I'm growing vegetables. I'm like, what is that line in Steel Magnolias? I don't know. I'm an old Southern woman who wears funny hats and grows vegetables in the dirt. Don't ask me why. So that's what I'm doing.
Are you becoming that woman now?
I'm kind of becoming that woman,
I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't know if it's a good thing. I mean, I basically scream at my family in Texas all the time because they're so not worried about this at all. Well, now they are. But
oh, wow.
Through the beginning of it, they were not, I think it's passed us over. I think it's gone by. And it's like, And when I say my family, I mean my sister. And and so now they're taking it seriously finally.
Because that's how viruses work. It just passes you by. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about you've been writing a musical that I know.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. There are things happening. We were supposed to do a production of it down in Houston in an Equity Theater this fall. And of course, COVID. And so we don't know what's going to happen next. But I do have some meetings set up with people who have read it and who are interested in maybe helping. And so we'll see what happens. I don't know if anything will, but we'll see. And it's just kind of this beautiful little jewel box sitting there waiting. It's a one-woman show. And so I'm thinking that as we go back.
Who's going to be in it?
Well, Christine Eversole. I'm thinking that as we go back to it gradually, that it might be smart to have a one-person show, in the beginning when we first start all this stuff. And so I'm kind of just putting it out there again. And,
absolutely.
And I'm really
proud. And you get along with you so well.
I love the cast. I really do. And
the cast parties will be hilarious.
It's so fun. No, and it's a 5-piece band, and it is and it isn't the story of my life. It's it's enhanced, and there are things about this character that are not me. But basically I tell the story of my family and growing up being like a child performer with hair, and
I've seen the pictures.
Oh, yeah. I know you have. And so it's kind of fun. And I just kind of have a bunch of characters that join the party that are crazy Southern people that I have known or I have seen. And so there's Mavis, the iced tea lady, and there's Becky the drunk, and so there's just stuff like that. So it's really fun. And
well, we can't wait.
Well,
now, I know you're about to sing. Are you going to sing a song that you wrote?
No, I was gonna, but we just didn't get the track done in time.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
But I thought.
Oh, that's right. You told me what you're going to sing.
Well, since I am Southern and since I am in my, Rosie the Riveter hair, I thought I would sing this little song. Patrick Brady and I did this arrangement, and we built it around the story about this Southern woman that I knew. And she was this lovely woman, very prim, very proper, very buttoned down, until you got a couple of strawberry daiquiris in her. And then she turned into a wild woman. And one night she confided in a drunken giggle after a cocktail dinner party at her house and everybody had gone home that her beloved husband, Bert, kicked off his boots, sat back in his genuine Naugahyde recliner, and looked up at her and said, "Well, Gigi, I don't know whether I want a blowjob or a piece of pie." And she said, "You have pie." Shoo shoo bop. Shoo 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 bop bop. A shoe fly pie, an apple pound daddy makes your eyes light up, makes your tummy say howdy. A shoe fly pie, an apple pound dowdy. I'll never get enough of that wonderful stuff. A shoe fly pie, an apple pound dowdy makes the sun come up when the heavens are cloudy. A shoe fly pie, an apple pound dowdy. I'll never get enough of that wonderful stuff. He said, "Mama, when you bake, Mama, I don't want cake. Mama, boy, I'm sick. Go to the oven, make some of your ever-loving shoe fly pie. An apple pan dowdy makes your heart beat fast, makes your baby get rowdy. A shoe fly pie, an apple pound dowdy. I'll never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Shoo 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 bop. Shoo 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 bop bop. When my baby comes home all tired and tender, he doesn't get high or go out on a bender. He only comes home with one little request. He says, "Bring me some pie. You know yours is the best." He wants some shoe fly pie. I gotta go bring him the shoe fly pie. A patty pie, and dowdy, ma'am, you better bring me the patty just as fast as you can. You pat it and you press it and you give it a squeeze. If you bring me some pie, you can do as you please. When you slide it in the oven, yes, ma'am. Well, that's my kind of loving. Hot damn, the dough has been kneaded and laid out real nice. The hot sugar beaten on top of the spice. Yes. A shoot-a-la-ba-loop-a-la-ba-loop-a-la-bye-bye. A shabba-la-boo-ba-la-ba-la-boo-ba-la-ba-bye-bye. Oh, and some sauce on the side, a bubble and butter and brown sugar too. If I can't taste the pasty, don't know what I'll do. If mama wants a baby already, and well, take off the crust and give me the filling. Shoe fly pie and apple pan daddy makes your toes curl up, makes your innie and outie. A shoe fly pie and apple pan daddy, I never get enough. Can't get enough. I'll never get enough of that wonderful stuff. Love that pie.
That is Sally Mays with Bob Renino on bass. That is such a fun arrangement.
I like it. It's sweet.
I do too. Thank you guys so much. We have so many friends watching. Jackie Joseph is watching. Billy Stritch is watching it. You might have heard of him. Our friend Libby Whittemore, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. We all played her club back in the day. That gorgeous room. Did you play Libby's?
I did. It was fun. Oh, listen to me. I'm supposed to turn now. I did. It was really a fun gig. And they have this drink called a peach.
Don't even get me started. I know.
But they're so strong that you have one and then you have to have 10. And then, yeah.
Then you're in a coma.
Oh my God. Johnny Rogers and I were down there together and it was fun.
Okay. Good night, everybody. I love seeing you.
I love seeing you. I miss you terribly. I
miss you.
I mean, it's coming back. It's going to come back.
Of course it is. Just keep gardening and making rude-looking vegetables, and we'll talk very soon.
I'm making you blueberry jam. So
okay,
do that along with the wax and the silver. I think you'll be very
lovely. Thank you, my friends. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sal.
See you soon.
Bye. That was fun. Wait, where are my glasses? Wait, I have to read you things. People are being so kind and generous. I feel like it's the Jerry Lewis telethon, but I'm gonna tell you some names of nice people. Darren Bruce, Todd Petzel. I said it right twice now. Audra Berger, Nancy Webb, Danielle Threet, Amanda Jones, bless you. John Giswald, I know him. He's what gives me this incredible body that I have. He's my trainer. Hello. Todd Foreman, Matthew Fox, Sean Gale, Jeffrey Wolper. You people are so damn nice. And that's just Venmo. PayPal doesn't come in on my phone, so I can't thank you people. But I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. But wait, there's more. What is apple pan dowdy? Does anybody know exactly what that is? Write in what that means. What's shoe fly pie? What's in that? Sounds suspect. Liz Paley, do you bake shoe fly pie? I bet you do.
I just want to pop on for a second because while we're still talking about tips, we just got a question. Where did it go? Somebody was asking here we go. Somebody was asking, how do I give you money? Let me just put that banner up one more time. We accept tips via Venmo and PayPal. The username is here. I also post about it in the live comment section, probably every 30 seconds or so. So check there, but also here it is. I just wanted to pop on and make it overly obvious because we appreciate anything that comes our way.
Thank you. Okay, Jim Clayton. This guy is a Canadian jazz singer and pianist who has been live streaming himself into a tizzy every night on Facebook for over 2 months, raising money for local charities and various causes in Canada. He's wowed us at Cast Party at Birdland in the past, and he's going to wow us tonight. Here he is, Jim Clayton.
No pressure. No pressure whatsoever.
How are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm very well. Now tell me where in Canada you are.
We're in East York, which was is now part of the Greater Toronto. It got absorbed when they, amalgamated some couple decades ago. And we're a quick subway ride around away from downtown.
Oh, nice.
Nice. We live right across the street from a nice school. We got a white picket fence.
Oh,
A technician. Actually, you know her better than you know me because she's been to Cast Party more times. Lenny.
I do know her.
There's Lenny.
How are you? It's
Lenny,
good to see you.
Lenny is my sound tech and countless other things. And if I forget to find my reading glasses, because I get a lot of requests that I haven't played before, so I got to find charts and whatnot, and remind me to plug in the interface so I actually sound half decent. So she's a crucial part of it. She usually stays for the first half. We're on at 9. She usually goes upstairs around 9:30 and hangs out working on her art, or as of late, a New York connection. She's been creating the game The Sims.
No, I don't.
Virtual world. It's one of those virtual world things. Where you design, you create houses on your inside the computer and interact with other people. And she's been you don't interact? Okay, I don't understand it fully myself. But she's been creating the Real Housewives of New York in Sims.
Okay, now I'm into it. I wasn't into it until now. Now I like it. Now I'm so there.
Yeah,
I'm so with you.
The live stream's a family affair. The Sims thing's a family affair. Now my better half, probably better. She wanted to say hi. You got to lean way over. Yeah.
How are you?
She's the she's the one that introduced us. We were down there in January, and right before everything got crazy, I was there for Jazz Congress. They were there to see Beetlejuice, which was Lenny's tickets to that were for Lenny's Christmas present. Nice. And then boom, we can't cross the border right now. So. I
know. Well, we're just trying to get out. Now you've been doing Jim's Piano Bar online shows. Raising money for different organizations. How do you choose? Is it a different organization every week?
It started off for almost 2 months. It was one thing. And it was a place close to Lenny's heart. Glad Day Bookshop in Toronto is the oldest LGBTQ bookstore in North America now. There was one in New York that closed, I guess, 15, 20 years ago. And it hosts her favorite drag brunch. So she's a regular there. They all know her. She's like their kid correspondent with her YouTube channel and such.
I love that.
And I get down there a fair bit myself. And with the Canada's drag race is airing now. I think it's on a logo as well as here in Canada. So her friend Priyanka made the cut, so she's on the show.
That's so great.
It's pretty cool. And they have an emergency fund, and the emergency fund was to help artists and performers and tips workers in the community, in the village. And so we made the tip jar for that. It just started off as Lenny and I doing Ask Me Anythings for a couple of days back in mid-March when we were hunkering down for what was only supposed to be a 3-week lockdown.
I remember, yes. And we were horrified about those 3 weeks.
Oh, man.
I couldn't imagine being out of work for 3 weeks.
Well, my wife knew better. She was like, it's not just going to be 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. It'll be 3 weeks.
We'll be fine.
After a week, we started entertaining ourselves doing Ask Me Anythings for 2 days. And then we moved to Behind the Piano one night, did that for 2 nights. And then the third night, we're hanging around and just, not thinking about it. And somebody emailed and said, hey, are you guys on tonight? And so we were on. And then it's now been tonight. Last night was the 120th night in a row.
Oh my gosh.
So we're actually at the 4-month mark. And the only night we took off, and it was just out of respect for the industry-wide Blackout Tuesday quite a while ago now.
Yes.
And around then, we started varying the charity because of the social issues that were becoming very, very apparent, finally, in a good way, but for sad reasons. And we started. We've done the ACLU legal, and this was with Glad Day's blessing because we didn't realize it was going to go 2 months. We started mixing it up, and the ACLU Legal Defense Fund, the New Orleans Musicians Clinic, because New Orleans is like a second home for us. And then as of last week, we've been doing the Broadway Care / Equity Fights AIDS, since you mentioned
We're doing tonight.
Well, you mentioned it on last week's show, so I thought, well, that seems incredibly appropriate. And they're all direct links, so we don't actually know how much we raised, but I get messages from folks and from Glad Day let us know that we had some impact.
Amazing.
And, we put up a link that's directly to their website, so folks know it's going exactly where they, and I don't have to carry around one of those little change things. So.
Right. Change belt. Well, Show us what you do, Jim.
Well, this is a favorite with the regulars now, and because I force it on them frequently. I was weaned on Johnny Mathis because of those Firestone Christmas albums that back when the snow tire companies were competing by offering free LPs.
I remember.
And so Mahalia Jackson, Burl Ives, and so and Johnny Mathis is something I've loved since I was a kid. But in New Orleans, they all do it upbeat, like the jazz organ trios did in the '60s, early '70s. So we do Misty. It's a ballad, but we do it a little bit like this. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I don't understand. I get misty. Just holding your hand. Walk my way. And 1,000 violins begin to play. Rather could be the sound of your hello. That music I hear, I get misty whenever you're near. You can say that you're leading me on, but that's just what I want to do. You can see that I'm hopelessly lost. That's why I'm following you on my own. When I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my other foot, my hat from my other hat, I get misty, 'cause I got too many hats. That's not right. That you're leading me on, but that's just what I want to do. Can't you see that I'm hopelessly lost? That's why I'm following you on my own. When I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove, I'm too misty and too much in love. I get misty and too much in love. So I think Johnny Mathis sounds like fast.
I like it like that. It sounds so good. And you sound great as always.
Oh, thank you kindly. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, your whole family, for hanging with us tonight. And all those other times at Birdland. And I can't wait to do it all again.
Oh, we'll be back. As soon as they let down the border, we're in the car.
Great. We look forward to it. Mwah! To the whole family.
I'll pass it on. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jim. That's Jim Clayton. So good. Ruby, I think Squigs just sent something. I said something a minute ago. What did I say? something about. Oh, I said that. That's funny. Squigs, he puts these together very quickly. Don't know how he does it.
And can I just pop on to say one thing, Jim, and then I don't think you'll see me for the rest of the broadcast because everything's going very smoothly on my end. But I just wanted to say, when you were reading the tip shout outs, you mentioned Darren Bruce, and I wanted to make sure that it was the correct Darren Bruce. And it is, I've confirmed. So now I want to say hello because that was my sister's high school theater teacher. And he was every single week, and he did such a lovely tip. So I want to say hello. Thank you so much, Mr. Bruce. He runs the theater department for Hume Fogg High School in Nashville, Tennessee. And I didn't go there for high school, but my sister did. And let me tell you, what they do with their shows there are seriously amazing.
Is that where she did? Is that where she did Hello, Dolly?
Yes.
It looked like a Broadway production.
I know. You should have seen when they did Chicago. It was crazy.
Amazing. Well, thank you,
thank
Mr.
you,
Bruce.
Just want to say hi.
That's so nice, Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce, I'm probably 7 times older than he is. Remember when I was young? Anybody? Somebody, our friend Paul, I haven't seen forever, tells us apple pan dowdy is a baked apple pastry traditionally associated with Pennsylvania Dutch cooking, with a recipe dating to colonial times. And somebody said something about shoe fly pie, but now I can't find it. Oh, it's a molasses crumb cake. Okay. Baked into a pie crust. That's from Piggly Mo. Okay, it's molasses, flour, brown sugar, egg, and water. Oh, hello, you're reading it. Are you having fun so far? I'm kind of enjoying this. I like everybody so far. Why would I invite people that I didn't like? Okay. Oh, you're going to love her. This is going to be a good thing. Our next guest won the Soul Train Award, for Best Traditional Jazz Performance, among many other honors. Please welcome my friend Nicole Henry.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can totally hear you.
Okay, good. You never know with these technical things.
I do. You're right. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Jim, it's so good to see you. I miss
so
Monday
good to
nights
see you.
in New York City.
I miss Monday nights at Birdland. But we do what we can. We're
Thank you for that.
We're doing this. And now this has ended up being so much fun.
I know, and it really opens up a whole. Sometimes you realize when one door closes, others just you got to open up the others. Yeah, they don't just open. You got to actually.
Oh, you have to kick it down. Kick it down. Nicole, you're in Florida, right?
I am. I'm in South Florida, and I was actually down here doing a musical that was being produced by the Miami New Drama, which is a fabulous theater company that had auditioned actors up in New York, and we all got hired to do this tribute. It's a musical about the life of Louis Armstrong. So it's the world premiere. Ooh. Yeah, and it's amazing. The choreography, the music, everything's just really incredible about the show. And we got through our 8 nights of previews, and then that last night we knew the night before that we had to shut it down and we couldn't open. So March 13th was the last, but it's such a great production, and we'll see. It should go far as soon as we can open back up. Yeah.
Oh yes, God. So, the music alone is going to be extraordinary. I know. Yeah.
And definitely not a bad place to be. Well, initially it was a haven to get away from COVID in the city.
I know.
And now,
not so much.
We're the I guess, what do they call that again? What are we, the epicenter?
Oh, the epicenter, the hot spot.
We're the hot spot.
I know. Well, to be careful while you're down there. You have such a cool career because you do a little of everything. You play all kinds of venues as a jazz singer. You play small clubs, huge venues like the Orange Bowl. That's a big venue.
It's pretty fun.
Lots of cool travel. Do you miss the traveling? Or are you kind of happy to be kind of stationary for a minute?
You know what? It doesn't bother me. I mean, for a minute I was looking at my mileage for Delta, and I was like, oh no, I'll never make platinum. But no, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I should
No,
be.
it's
So,
true.
honestly, I feel so blessed to just be safe, to
Yeah.
be to not have a crazy, because my lease ran out in New York, and so I just packed everything up and put it into storage. So
wow.
at least I don't have New York lease, rent to pay. And I have a home here in South Florida, so I'm fortunate. But there's so many people who aren't fortunate, you know what I mean, or who are just getting what it feels like to not have work. So every day I really wake up so grateful and just try to do what I can for my friends. Like, I'm so happy that you're doing these nights as fundraisers for our friends, and for, I
too.
mean, it could be us, and it's just, you never know. So I wake up grateful, and but yeah, staying safe, wearing a mask, and yeah, but you never know. I mean, I have a friend that got it, and she wore masks regularly. Like, so
I
you
know.
just
I know.
gotta-
You kind of don't know.
yeah.
Well, I found something as I was telling Sally, I Google, even though I know people, I look online and I kind of search around. Ruby, would you bring this picture up? Can you tell me what this is?
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
What's going on here?
How wild is that, right? I
What?
think that's in Russia.
Oh,
I want to say
wow. I'm glad I asked.
Irkutsk. And a gentleman, he said, I just want you to sign my arm. And I said, I can't sign your arm in Sharpie. I go, because it won't stay forever. It'll wash off anyway. He goes, no, I want you to sign my arm. It'll be there as long as I just want it there. And I said, are you serious? And he's like, please. So I was like, all right, honey.
Why not? Why
Yes.
not?
Yes.
Maybe
It's not
he
my
had it
normal branding, but
tattooed.
yeah. Oh,
Maybe.
yeah, there you go.
Let's go with that. That should
Yeah.
be the end of the story. Just
like
make it up.
He said he asked me to sign my signature so he could the next day get it tattooed onto his arm.
That's right. Now, what city was this?
Irkutsk, Russia.
Yeah, he's not going to know that we said that.
It's sweet though, but it's so fun when you travel and
Oh,
I feel like I feel like a pusher. I'm like, did I just give these people drugs? I mean, why are they like so happy with my performance? But that's what
well,
we do.
you're
it's a
about
blessing
to,
be able
our
to
audience is about to feel that right this
mellow
second.
them out. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Sing for us.
We all could use a little solving of problems. And
Sing a little something for us.
all right, well, I'm going to sing a song from 1937, and it's a song that I recorded in 2008. And I haven't heard a lot of people record it, but just Ella Fitzgerald and me. So here is a Gershwin song from A Damsel in Distress, introduced by Fred Astaire, and I want to say Ginger Rogers. So here we go. Bad news, go away, call round someday in March or May. I can't be bothered now. My stocks and shares may fall downstairs. Who cares? Who cares? I'm dancing and I can't be bothered now. Oh, I'm up among stars. On earthly things I frown. I'm throwing off the bars that held me down. So I'll pay the piper when times are riper. But now I shan't, because you see I'm dancing and I can't be bothered now. Oh, I'm up among stars. On earthly things I frown.
I'm throwing off the bars that held me down. And I'm going to pay the piper when my times are riper. But for now I shan't, because you see I'm dancing and I'm up among the stars. Oh yes, I'm dancing and I'm throwing off the bars. Oh yes, I'm dancing and I can't be, no, I can't be bothered now. No, I can't be bothered now. All right. DJ. All right, there we go. Ooh, I can't hear you.
Jim, we can't hear you. Time out. Hang on. We can't hear you.
Oh, wait, I'm back.
There we go.
Hello. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. I love that song. I remember that being in My One and Only on Broadway.
Ah,
with
was that
Tommy
also in
Tune.
Crazy for You? Was it in Crazy for You? Do you know if that was in Crazy for You? A friend of mine thought she remembered it from being in the chorus for you, but Tommy
it
Tune
might have been in Crazy for You, but I feel like it was. I feel like it was in My One and Only. Anyway,
My One and Only.
whatever.
Okay, I'll look that up.
I sure love it. Oh my gosh, what a great
Email
song!
Tommy.
And you sound fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, it's so funny because I'm like, I do a show like twice a month, and I'm like, I need to sing every day. And because warming up is not the same as having a concert. So
I understand. Well, God, you sound gorgeous. Thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody, can I just say one public
You
service?
can say whatever you want.
Everybody vote. Make sure you're registered. If you're from South Florida, we have an election August 18th. They call them primaries, but they're very important. Like, you know, the mayors, the Congress people, the judges, the mayor, so the state attorneys. So yes, please, everybody, make sure you're registered to vote and vote in your primaries. And then, of course, November. So we can all try to get along. One nation under God, indivisible.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? That I'm just like, I almost sang the national anthem tonight because I'm like, oh, say, can you see? Will you see? We can do this. Let's get it together, people. So,
Oh, my friend, thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Come
get my
back and visit
pajamas.
us soon.
I will. I'm gonna send you a photo when I get my pajamas.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Thanks for donating,
Thank-
everybody. Have a great
thank
night, Jim. Great to see you.
Nicole Henry, thank you. Delightful. I have many thanks. Wait, lots of things coming in. Hold, please. Hold. Oh, you know who I want to thank is our great friend, Carol Shedlin. She has been so generous in the past. She's a regular at Cast Party at Birdland, and she always sends us little wonderful donations. Kevin Walsh, Tana Harrington, Jonathan Smith, Sue Hannah, Doug Major. I know Doug Major. Nicholas Rodriguez, please. He's going to be on here singing at some point. Bill Westmoreland, brilliant photographer. Brian Nash, what's that? I enjoy Brian Nash. Great piano player, singer. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay, you ready for more? Well, you're going to have more, whether you like it or not. Jay Rodriguez did 100 episodes of the original groundbreaking television show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. He's won a Primetime Emmy. He's a best-selling author. That's right. It's Jay Rodriguez.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I tried my best with the pajamas. I thought like a silky little top thing and yeah.
Oh, yes, you did.
I tried to do a little
Thank
something
you.
for you. Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. This is really
people
fun.
have sent me pajamas so that I have, but I don't feel cute in pajamas.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to pull off because I mean, some people also sleep naked. So how would that work today?
Well, that is embarrassing on me. It just would not work because
If
it's hard.
a song from Hair, maybe that.
Okay, It's hard to get a necktie on when you're
How about
naked.
Spring Awakening? Mama, love me, mama. That would,
I love that show. Have you been in that show? That's a great score for you.
I wish. I think I'm too old now, but yeah, no. I wish it was a great show.
Maybe in a very big house.
That's right. Yeah. As long as I put a little put the people in the back of the theater, sure.
Right. Put those red dots in your makeup.
Do you know that I actually had a theater teacher in like maybe it was like junior high, and we're doing Anything Goes. I'd never heard of the red dot thing before, and they were so aggressive that it looked like everyone just had red dots. Like you're like that can't be right, but yeah.
I don't know who made that up. And then Carol Channing drew a red line across her nose, just right there. I don't mean blended in. I mean like a red line.
People hold on to things though. Like once you tell them or they hear it, they're like, that's it. That's the one.
That's right. That's the way.
Yeah.
What can you say? Okay. First of all, I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm sorry to be here.
We've met a few times, but we've never really hung out. The last time I saw you,
from afar. Like I've seen you perform and I've seen your shows, but I left New York in 2006. So I've been here in LA ever since, and I felt so disconnected from the theater community, specifically the nightlife and the music and the live music at that. And it's so different here in Los Angeles, and you're lucky if you can get people to come out to like, Rockwell or something, but there's not a whole lot of venues where it's as accessible and you have that base like New York does, where they just want to be entertained, and it's different. But we make our way.
We do. We do. Now, you've had a great career, but it's been so diverse. You did Rent on Broadway. You did Xana Don't off Broadway. You did a play at Lincoln Center. And then Queer Eye happened.
Which, by the way, all of that happened by the time I was 23. Like in that picture right there, I'm 23 years old. And I was literally doing Xana Don't. And you can see my hair is a weird color because, well, I don't know if you can make it out in that picture, but I had platinum white hair while doing Xana Don't. So I was doing Rent during the day from 6 a.m. to about 7 p.m. And they would race me to the theater. And as long as I could get there by 10 minutes after, they would hold curtain. And then I'd do a show for 90 minutes. And I don't have that endurance, I don't think, anymore. I mean, it's something definitely you can do when you're a kid. But it was to look back at it now, because July 15th was 17 years from the launch of Queer Eye when that picture was taken. Yeah.
That is crazy. Now, when you were shooting during the day and then doing a show at night, did you have any idea that this thing was going to be this enormous juggernaut?
Here's how it went. I took 6 months off of Rent. 6-month leave to go originate an off-Broadway role, which you do in New York, right? You're like, okay, great, I'll be on the soundtrack. It's a new experience for me. And I fully intended to go back to Rent, even while shooting Queer Eye, because it was on Bravo. And this was before anyone knew what a Vanderpump was. To me, a Vanderpump was the thing I would do late at night in my mind to James Van Der Beek.
Hey.
So for me, Bravo wasn't even on the map. Everyone had jobs. Everyone was going to go back to their jobs. And the minute the show took off, and we realized that was not possible, I gave my notice at Rent, but I didn't get that final show. So a year into Queer Eye, I went back for a month and got the cake and the Happy Trail song and all that.
But I mean, that was such an enormous, I mean, you guys were on the cover of People and Time, and it just became the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, it really was. And the only regret I have, because people are always like, what do you think of the new Queer Eye? I'm like, well, I mean, if we put that they make way more money than we did aside, they have social media, so they have the access to connect with fans in a way that we didn't so much back in the day. And so that's the only piece I wish was still in play, because I love what they're doing. I love the messaging they're putting forward. And so many of the things that, were a part of that gay explosion were really that. It was specific. There was not a whole lot of, we had L Word, Queer as Folk, Will and Grace, Queer Eye. It was mainly like, I looked at a picture of Vanity Fair. They put all those casts together in 3 foldouts, and it was predominantly white and or white presenting people. So we're just getting to a space now, even and I know it's been brought up in Broadway as well, but I didn't think I could sustain a career in New York because it just weren't the roles. Lin-Manuel hadn't written In the Heights yet. And so it was tricky for beige or brown people to work. And all these years later, I'm so happy for the visibility and at least the acknowledgement that we're trying to tell more diverse stories and having people behind the scenes, the composers, the directors, the choreographers, who are able to tell their own stories and tell the stories of their community. And so I'm really inspired by that. And I was planning with Michael Orland to do a proper cabaret tour and then come to New York, because I have been so petrified about returning, having had such a gap. I was like, who's going to come hear me? You know what I mean? You get so in your head, you know?
I know. Well, I'll be there.
Okay.
Well, you'll do it in Birdland. Hello.
Listen, any chance I get to work with you or see you is something I'd be really excited to do.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. I've never told you this.
Yeah.
I got a call from an agent about Queer Eye when they were first looking for guys.
You would have been great.
Okay, so you know what my response was?
Oh God,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But that's why. But to
kind of an
end,
idiot
I was like, well, this
I.
isn't going to be a thing. No one's going to see it, and I'll just get a couple extra bucks in my pocket. You know what it's like working off Broadway? You're not making a lot of money. I gave up the Broadway salary.
Please, I work in cabaret.
Yeah,
that makes off Broadway like MGM.
Oh my God, I don't know. I feel like that's one of the things, and that's the tricky piece about, I've had this great career, but in many ways I'm very much a gig worker. I jump from job to job to job, and when I'm not working, it's cabaret. And
that's what I like about your career, though. It's so interesting. I mean, it's varied.
In this year, like literally, I did The Rookie on ABC, and I played kind of this psychotic kind of murderer kind of guy, and then from there I did Family Feud with the OGs versus the new classic Queer Eye. I won for my team.
Hilarious, good.
Yeah, and then I got to shoot something right before the pandemic, which is really important. I'm really excited about it, called Equal, and it's an HBO Max series, so it's on their streaming platform, about unsung queer heroes of the 1960s. And I actually play a guy named Jose Sarria, or the Widow Norton, who established the Imperial Court, cabaret star, a big political activist for the community in 1960, and was the first elected official who was out and ran for office, did not get elected, that Harvey Milk did years later. But it was really important that they're telling these stories now, and I got to sing in it, and it's slated to air in October, and I'm hoping that'll still happen. But
that sounds great.
It was cool, and had to adorn a whole other cadence and accent, because in the 1950s, where this performer would have been so inspired, I'm imagining he was inspired by the great movie legends, and so there was this almost like a mid-Atlantic kind of accent, and he was very like in the register when he spoke. So when I got on set and did that, they're like, "Oh, you're doing it," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you have to, right?" So it was cool.
Well, last night you did something very huge.
I did. Last night was the second of 3 daytime Emmy Award shows, which was the first one that was live streaming. So they had me in an isolated booth in a tuxedo with a beautiful set. Cameras were there, but no camera people. And I had an in-ear monitor, and I hosted the Digital Drama Awards. And it was fantastic because we had 2 people win who had been in the business a long time, including one woman named Lynn, who was one of the lead characters' mother on East Siders. Her first Emmy nomination and win, and she was considering leaving the industry, took this role in this new medium, didn't know much about the LGBTQ plus community other than her friends, and she won. And so this is going to hopefully open a lot of doors for her. And another man who won for another project, 50 years in entertainment, had just kind of given up on the idea that he'd ever be acknowledged for his work in television. And so it was, digital dramas are one of the largest growing dramas. And these are the shows, much like cabaret, it's all blood, sweat, and tears, a little bit of chapstick and some Scotch tape. You know what I mean? You know how we make it look good, but behind the scenes, how crazy it can get, and how you're can I borrow your speaker? Can I borrow, it was that to make these style shows, and just to see them recognized with Emmys was fantastic.
Thrilling. Sing for us.
Oh, I'll sing for you.
Yay! What are you going to do?
All right. So I know everyone's feeling the Hamilton moment, so I'm going to do Wait For It from Hamilton. And fun fact, I'm the youngest person ever cast in a leading role in Broadway's Rent, but Leslie Odom Jr. is actually the youngest person ever cast in the show at 17. He joined the company of Broadway in 1999, and I did it with him. He was in the ensemble, understudy for Benny, but he would have been like baby Benny, so I don't think he ever went on. But yeah, I was like, it was fresh on the brain, so I was like, let me give you some of that.
Perfect. Do it.
I'm nervous. Okay.
No.
Doja writes me a letter every day. I'm keeping the bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side in Georgia, trying to keep the colonies alive. But he could keep all of Georgia. Doja, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make mistakes. And if there's a reason, I'm sick a lot. So many who love me have died. I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. My grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher. But there are things that the homilies and hymns won't teach us. My mother was a genius. My father commanded respect. When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We keep living anyway. We rise and fall and we break and we make a mistake. And if there's a reason I'm still alive, everyone who loves me has died. I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. I am the one thing in life I can control. I am inimitable. I am original. I'm not falling behind or running late. I'm not standing still. I am lying in wait. Hamilton faces an endless uphill climb. He has something to prove, he has nothing to lose. Hamilton's pace is relentless, he wastes no time. What is it like in the shoes? Hamilton doesn't hesitate, exhibits no restraint. He takes and he takes and he takes. He keeps winning anyway. He changes the game, plays, and he raises the stakes. And if there's a reason he seems to thrive when so few survive, then goddamn it, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Life doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We rise and we fall. If there's a reason I'm still alive when so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. And I did not realize you could see the kitty litter or my shorts. So that was hilarious. Also, I did get you something too. It's just I didn't wrap it, but hold on. Here, this was silver. It has a hole.
That's nice.
Oh gosh. And then this is a lemon cookie scented candle from the Trader Joe's. So this is really good for your 17th. Yeah, for the 17th. And also that performance was brought to you by a Cosmo, which I haven't drank them since Sex and the City days, but I thought that was probably the last time I lived in New York. So it just made me think of New York.
Why wouldn't that be tasty? Jay Rodriguez,
well, thank you so much for having me. Gorgeous. Really appreciate it. Just
and by the way,
yes.
Don't think I didn't see your Emmy behind you. Don't think. Don't think.
You know what's funny? I saw new ones yesterday, and I didn't realize how these get tarnished. Like there's a place, a trophy place that buffs them out or whatever.
Oh, I need a trophy place buffing mine out.
I know, but let me tell you something. I in the middle of this pandemic, I did have to check if I could sell. You know, you can't. But
no, don't.
No, I would never. No, I'd sooner sell the dog. You know, something of value.
Exactly, the kitty litter.
The kitty litter. I didn't know that was even in the frame. Oh gosh. Well, thank you, Jim Caruso. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.
I can't wait to see you back here in New York City, hopefully
when
very
this
soon.
is all lifted, I'm going to come up to you and give you the biggest hug and kiss. So good to see you, and I'll stay safe. Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Bye. Bye.
That's Jay Rodriguez. That was fun, right? I should be in that Hamilton show, that Hamilton program. Thank you to a whole bunch of people that are sending in some delightful tippage. Philip, Kevin, just bless you all. So sweet. Okay, this is the real deal, ladies and germs. My next guest was named one of the 50 greatest jazz piano players of all time. Now, if that's not a good intro, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please welcome to the stage, to your screen, Monty Alexander.
That's quite an intro. My goodness, Jim.
What kind of a thing is that? That's pretty good, right?
I can't explain it. I just love to play the piano, and a few people picked up on it, and here I am.
I would say a few people did pick up on that. You're an icon, my friend. How are you?
Very well, in spite of all of what's going on. And every day is a new day, and I try to put the good thoughts in my mind and enjoy every breath. That's it.
See, now somebody needs to just write that down and tattoo it on my face, because it's such a great outlook. You've always been a very positive kind of a guy. But where are you, by the way? Where are you right now?
I'm in a very unusual place called Midtown Manhattan.
Oh,
the middle of this thing. I call it the concrete jungle, right in the center.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's right. And that's an area where I've been in from the early 1960s. You see, I'm 39 years young, right?
Of course I knew that. Now, okay. I want all of the people that are watching to, if they are not aware of your work, like if they're musical theater fans or if they're, folk music fans or something where they're not like clicked into what you do, I want them to Google you. And because reading about you and listening to your music is like a course in the history of music. You've been influenced by so many different kinds of music. And you're from Jamaica. What the heck were you listening to in Jamaica when you were growing up?
Thank you for asking, because that's a question difficult to answer. The first thing as a little kid, and I fell in love with, were the cowboy songs, Roy Rogers and Gene Autry. I love the simplicity of these guys sitting on beautiful horses with guitars, singing about the beautiful environment of the West. And it would just take me to dreamland. And of course, my mom went to America and brought back some Hopalong Cassidy guns. And I was dreaming about that. A lot of people of my stage of life were just loving Saturday matinees at the movie theater. We'd say, pictures. I'm going to pictures to see Roy and Gene and Happy. And that was it. But it was also the influence of the local folk music of Jamaica, the calypso songs, the songs that Harry Belafonte gave to us, this similar thing. And so I had a great diet. But the piano was not just one thing. It was just my friend. It was like a toy, a 3-year-old kid who went to the piano and had fun doing stuff like this. I run up and down the Black Keys, and I was imagining it's a waterfall. And I would be in a fantasy land, so it was, I played the bird in the tree. Birds in the tree, or the truck backfiring. So I was a kid loving to make music on the piano, make sounds. And then one day I'm picking out the little pop songs, Elvis Presley songs, Fats Domino songs. But the big staple in my mother and father's home were Nat King Cole recordings, the beautiful ballads that Nat gave, but also Bing Crosby. So I'm hearing the best of American popular music from a very young age. And I'm just picking it up because the strange thing with me, which is the case with certain musicians, I never went to music school. I was just like picking it up with my ears. I did go to the piano teacher, but believe you me, Jim, I hated it. I hated going to the piano teacher, especially when she took the ruler and said, "Don't hold your hands like that." I said, "I don't want to do this anymore." And I became my boogie. I have a ball doing that. And if you play the Black Keys, it's easy. Sing the blues, yeah, baby, all that. So I just love the idea of playing music and bringing a smile. And I tell you now, and I'm dating myself, I saw on the stage my ultimate hero. His name was Louis Armstrong.
Oh, wow.
And I'd go home and I'd get in front of the mirror and I said, "Good evening, everybody. It's so nice to see you." So it was just music entertainment, the movies, the Broadway songs. And that's why I feel a kinship with what you do, because the music that I heard from the early films that I saw, Showboat and Kiss Me Kate and South Pacific, and those songs, I heard those songs and I just love them, you know. Mitzi Gaynor singing, and the beautiful ladies in the movies, Sid Charisse dancing with Fred Astaire. So I love that. But then there was that jazz world. What's that? It's something different, you know, and the musicians were deep and they were serious. But I was goofy Monty. I just like playing and having fun, you know. And anyhow, that's my story.
Well, you're at some point you moved from Jamaica to Miami, but that's when a certain superstar caught your act.
Well, I came to Miami. I was 17 years old, and I'm just hanging out right for trouble. You know, when you're 17 and you don't, your mom says to you, "Where you going? Don't go to those places. Bad people." I'm gone. And one day I go sitting into a club, and I got hired to play there. So it's like a dream coming true. So I'm playing all over the clubs and the bars in Miami Beach, Florida. And this is the year 1962. I was just a little kid, but I knew what to do. I felt comfortable. I owned it, so to speak. And one night I'm playing in this particular place, and I'm opening for, guess who? Lenny Bruce, the comedian. Lenny Bruce.
Wow.
A character of characters. And Lenny was going through personal challenges, you know, and he would say things on the stage where the police were waiting for him to really go bad with it, and they could, you know. And I remember him giving me a ride from the bus stop, and he was friendly with the musicians. So anyhow, Lenny was there, and then came an entertainer whose biggest thing was to do impressions. And his chief impression was none other than Frank Sinatra. He'd do Sinatra, he had the hat, he had the coat rack, and he'd go there and he says, "Come fly with me," and all that, right? And one night, Frank Sinatra came into the club. Mr. Sinatra came to see this guy, you know? And there I was banging away, swinging my thing, and he and friends saw Monty playing the piano. And they must have said, "Hey, that kid, go see that kid." And Jilly Rizzo, his dear friend, the brother that he didn't have, who had a club here in New York on 52nd Street, right off of 8th Avenue. Jilly's was the place to go. Why? Because that's where Sinatra would go when he came to New York. And one thing led to another, and I got a job at Jilly's. They hired me. I got an airline ticket, and that's how I came to New York. And if that's not a dream coming true, I don't know what's a dream coming true.
That is crazy. Oh, it must have been. I mean, when somebody like that puts their thumbs up on your career, it must be very stunning when it's happening to you.
Well, the thing with me, when I would play, I think a big part of it was I had a sense of confidence. I was confident to play the right note, the song, the melody, the whole thing. And when somebody who is really of high value with music and life, somebody you see on the movie screen, comes to you and says, "Kid, you're doing all right," you know, and he pats you on the back. I remember getting a little kiss on the cheek once, you know, Italian style, warm, friendly thing. So Sinatra was a big boost for me. But then I met the jazz musicians, and I also got kudos from some of these great musicians. Among them, Miles Davis. Miles Davis would come into the Jillies. So I'm in the thick of this world, and I'm just 19 years old. So
oh my gosh,
I was really with the big guys. I call it royalty of jazz. But here's a nice thing. I'm running into people that don't think about jazz and the hip thing about jazz, but think about songs, music. And I met people that were of the Broadway side. So my palette, my world is big. It's not bebop jazz. It's the whole smooth, the whole thing. And I met people who wanted to get me on Ed Sullivan because I'm this kid with the hair on the head and I'm bouncing on the piano, and they said, "Get him on Ed Sullivan." But I was scared. I didn't know how to behave, and I did not pursue it gregariously. But I met a lovely woman who's from England, and I ended up going to Las Vegas to help her with her performance. And I'm hoping and I'm thinking you would know who Shani Wallace is.
Of course I do, from Oliver.
Absolutely. And Shani to this day and I are the best of friends. She's out there in near Long Beach in California, being careful, wearing her mask. She's in her 80s now. And I saw these pictures. Katerina, my wife, saw them. I had them, and there is me and Shani, and it looks like we're very familiar, but her husband is there. So that's me and Shani. I thought it'd be show that. And Shani, who brought those songs from Oliver, as long as
my gosh.
Me. And
I mean,
I fell in love
singer.
with Broadway music. So I feel honored to rub shoulders with you, who brings that to the world. Keeps people.
Well, I mean, this is also why you're such a great entertainer. You're not just a guy up there, playing great piano. You're a real performer, and I think that's so important to me as an audience. Now, you have a newish CD called Warwick Hill. Yes.
Okay,
there it is.
This
Look
is
how
me
good it is.
tapping into this. There it is. There it is.
How good it is.
This is probably my 76th album of jazz piano.
What the hell?
That's right. Kind of weird. And I had this idea to take the album, make an album of Thelonious Monk, the great icon of jazz, but bring it to a very Jamaican sensibility, rhythmically. And I found out that when Thelonious Monk, this great icon of jazz, who was influenced by Duke Ellington, and they were Charlie Parker, people like that, they were all together. They were buddies, and they played the music. He grew up around a lot of people from the West Indies, which is people that say the Caribbean today. Caribbean, a lot of people think it's Hispanic, Latin, which is true because Cuba, Puerto Rico, but the British West Indies was Trinidad, Antigua, Barbados, those places where we play cricket, the game of cricket.
I do.
And I connected with Thelonious Monk's upbringing, having been around a lot of island people, and I realized these tunes that he wrote, quirky, funny little tunes that the jazz musicians love to play, had the island rhythm. I could feel it clear as a bell. You heard, so I took that and I went further with it and brought the influence of Rastafarianism, which is the people who have this philosophy that affected Bob Marley, among other people. So I just made this record, put it out, and people really seem to go for it. And there it is. It's on the website, and it's it's an LP. This is a commercial.
Oh, you can get an LP.
We had the vinyl. So
fantastic.
We went the extra mile and made a vinyl record of Thelonious Monk, and my version of it's called Warwick Hill. Call it Rasta Monk Vibration. But that's just a part of my world. I just, I made a recording and got a letter back from Mr. Sinatra. We say Mr. Sinatra because he may come after me. I don't know. And I made the record and I sent it to his place in Palm Springs, and I got a beautiful letter back from Frank. And it was the time when his friend Jilly, his life was taken in a car accident. And Frank, Mr. S, wrote me back, and I got the letter. And it's a proud.
Oh my God.
So Frank said, Monty, you did a good job. All that, So I've just loved being around entertainers, musicians.
Well, you have the coolest life. Would you give us a taste of the brilliance that you do?
I always think like, darn, I don't know what to play. That feeling like what to play. But since I'm thinking of Shani, lovely Shani Wallace, who was like a Judy Garland of England.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I remember there was a song, she didn't sing it in the film, but it's called Where Is Love?
Oh, perfect.
And the little kids sang it, and if you remember, Oliver was about Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens, and the poverty-stricken kids that trying to get some food, and they're really in a bad way. So anyhow, here is my trying to remember, because I recorded that in 1969 or something, and I'm dreaming, I'm going. It's like a weird dream. Where is love?
Well, Monty Alexander, what a joy to have you here to serenade us like that so incredibly. You're doing a Facebook show. Is it once a week called Reminiscing in Rhythm?
Rhythm. That's how the Jamaican would talk. You know, we're lazy with the English language.
Yes.
The British influence, we forced to speak properly, but we love to defy properly. And instead of saying rhythm, we say rhythm. So I came up with this thing, and believe it or not, Jim, it's exactly 16 episodes I have done, just like you. Once a week, every Saturday at 4 p.m. on YouTube. It's called Reminiscing Rhythm. And I have been doing this for 16 weeks. And it's on the YouTube, it's Facebook, and it's all these modern things that I'm learning about. And I'm telling people all about my 60 years in the music world, the great people I met, the fantastic incidents, and all about the early Jamaica, when I was around Sinatra, when I was around living my life, let's put it that way, and staying out of trouble. That's the good part.
It's been a good life. I'm reading all the comments here, and people are just thrilled at your stories, and of course with your beautiful playing. I can't thank you enough. Monty Alexander, what a joy to have you here.
It's just a delight. And Katerina is like your Ruby. She's just made everything.
I love
work.
her.
She's from France, and she likes to sing songs that knock you dead.
Oh, she's a killer singer. Well, let's meet up in Midtown and have a coffee or something.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me, Jim. It was
Monty,
a wonderful moment.
thank you. You. That's Monty Alexander. Look him up. Look him up on his website. I mean, his albums are thrilling, and they're just happiness making. Just a reminder that we are accepting your donations and tips on PayPal and Venmo to pay for the platform, as the kids say, to starch my shirts, and mostly to make a nice donation to Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, COVID Assistance Fund, taking care of the people. They are angels. Okay. My last guest has taken the concept of carpool karaoke to a whole new level. Please welcome musical theater fanatic and YouTube sensation, Colin O'Leary.
Hello, Mr. Jim Caruso.
Colin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You know, I never know what to expect with you when I see you on camera, because there's always a costume, there's a hat, there's a wig, there's an outfit.
A little sparkle here and there, you know.
A little sparkle.
Had this lying around in my room.
You did?
It's my pajama.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. These are my pajamas. I'm very formal. For the three people who haven't already become obsessed with you and your videos, tell the people what you've been doing.
So I don't even know that answer. What have I been
Yes,
doing?
you do.
So I'm just trying to do it all, you know, a little production and some performance and some videos, and I'm just doing it all. I mean, right now being stuck inside gives me all the time to make props and paint things and cut out a foam core. So, you know, I'm always wishing to have this time on my hands, and here it is. So that is a blessing in my life right now.
Well, you know, so many people are desperate for viral videos. I mean, the first video that I saw of yours had over, I think, 2 million. Was it 2 million?
I think it got to 5 million on Facebook. It went
That's
up to 5.
crazy.
Crazy. Why?
5 million.
Like, who's watching? Like, who are these people?
It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm just
Love
happy
it.
they're there.
Yeah.
What do you say to folks that are looking for that? Because so many people are looking at YouTube success, like people like you, people like our friend Colleen Ballinger, who just her career blew up.
Oh my God.
You know, what do you tell people? Do you have suggestions for people?
So you just can't push it. Like, I didn't even think of like going viral. I was just like, I have all these props, I might as well use them. So I just like was just making these videos, and then I just kept like, getting more ideas. Oh, Toto in the basket. Oh, the mermaid bucket of water. So then it just progressively just happened, and I don't think you can force it. I mean, it has to be authentically yourself. So in order for it to resonate with people, I think so. You can't really. You gotta just do what you think you should do, because you can't force it. You can't make it happen. It's got to come from you. And then hopefully people will see that. And then it's also about who sees it and their following. I'm like now learning all of this world of social media and how it all works, and sharing and everything, and following and getting followers. Like, I'm still so new to it too. So I really don't even know, but I think you should just do what your heart tells you to do, and your passion. It's really about your passion.
I think so too, and it's the honesty of whatever that is.
Totally.
But I see a lot of people trying to become YouTube stars because on the face of it, it looks so easy. However, I know just from watching Colleen all those years, she's my one like YouTube superstar pal. How hard she worked for years and years. I mean, day and night. And when we had her on Cast Party, she said, I would get up in the morning, I would make coffee, and I would sit and I would write and I would video and she just worked at it all day, every day.
That is
so it's not something that just comes easily.
Oh no, it takes so much work and so much preparation, and it's all about like in your head. See, that's the other thing. I just think about it. I don't really put it down. I'm just like, okay, this dress needs to go through that princess, and that princess needs to go to this. So I'm very like, that's just how my mind is. It's just crazy. And I'm also just on the spot. I love like serendipity too. So like, I don't always like to like fully plan everything out. I like to like, if I'm like going down like a party store, ooh, that's a good prop for this scene. You know,
right.
It needs to just come to you.
Well, your videos they take place. Most of them have taken place in your mom's car while she's driving, and you are totally bonkers creating the characters and with the costumes and Broadway medleys, and it's just they're so funny because of course your mother is hilarious and has become. I'm assuming she's become a superstar in her own right.
Oh my God, more than 10 times more than me. I do all this work and she does nothing and she becomes a huge star. I mean, that's I
know on my Facebook page, they're like, is his mother going to be there?
Oh my gosh, she's like hiding in the closet right now. That's the last thing she'd want to be doing.
How dare you? How dare you, madam? Carol, right?
Yep, Carol.
Carol, we love you.
She's like carrying in the closet right now.
Okay, put on a little lipstick. Come on out. Come on. I hear a rumor that you have a new video.
A little something.
Tell me.
Might be true.
Tell me about it.
So I wanted to do this scene for a while, and it happened to be the Judy Garland Boy Next Door when she's out of the window scene. And it was just always in the back of my head. My aunt has this amazing Victorian house, and even when I was like 4, I would like wander around the house and be like, "Oh, this window would be perfect for Judy Garland." Like that's what my head thinks of. So that's always in the back of my head. And then this drag queen named Nadine Hughes, she's known as the Brows of Texas. She messaged me randomly and she was like, "Hey, I want a painting," and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And then she was like, Judy Garland? And I was like, okay, which type of Judy Garland? Young Judy Garland, old Judy Garland high, not high, like there's so many different Judy Garlands you can do. So then we decided Boy Next Door. And then that's when I started putting all the pieces together. I was like, oh my God, I could also do a scene and a painting. So right now I have a video that is me as Bob Ross / Barbara Streisand / Colin O'Leary / Judy Garland, all these different characters. So I'm painting Judy Garland out the window, and then there's a little performance. So that is the new.
And we're going to see it here. Is this the premiere?
The premiere. The worldwide premiere is happening tonight, ladies. I'm excited.
And gentlemen.
Oh, and gentlemen.
And others.
And all the above.
So all of the above. So we have it here. Ruby, do we need to know anything else? Do we need to? Is this? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh,
no.
Let's do this.
So I'm excited. I'm going to put my glasses on.
Said that much, but we'll go.
Yeah. Okay. Ruby, play it.
Oh man.
Today we have a new video. That's correct. We will be painting a picture. What's the picture we would be painting? Once upon a time, there was a drag queen named Nadine Hughes, the brows of Texas, and she asked me, "Hey, Kyle, can you paint me a picture?" So I was like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And she said, "Judy Garland." Ooh. So now I'm going to explain to you step by step. So step 1, be able to see. Freaking glasses, gotta go. They're a great little piece of equipment to have as an accessory, which actually makes me think I do not even have my contacts in. Now, I don't know if this is the right way of painting. Is there a right way of painting? Who really knows? But I just do it. So you just gotta do it, because if you don't do it, then it won't get done. The downfall of having a fro. So now we have a very freaking weird shape that will hopefully be Judy Garland. Alright. I really like to use Virginity's Not Real White because we're using Rusty Crotch Orange. And of course, we want Piss Yellow. Now that we have Rusty Crotch Orange, Piss Yellow, and Virginity Isn't Real White, we can now mix those together to make the face. That's what Judy Garland's mother looked like. It is time to flip the painting and paint upside down. It's always nice to have little critters around. I would like to remind everyone I am not a licensed teacher, physician, or authority person.
The moment I saw him smile, I knew he was just my style. My only regret is we've never met, though I dream of him all the while. But he doesn't know I exist, no matter how I may persist. So it's clear to see there's no hope for me, though I live at 5135 Kensington Avenue and he lives at 5133. How can I ignore the boy next door? I love him more than I can say. Doesn't try to please me, doesn't even tease me, and he never sees me glance his way. And though I'm heart sore, the boy next door affection for me won't display. adore him, so I can't ignore him. The boy next
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much to unpack here.
Yeah.
First of all, you're a fantastic painter.
Oh, thank you.
What the hell?
Yeah, it just happens. I mean, that's like what I do, I guess. I think that's like my number one. No, I don't have a number one thing. That's like my issue. But I've always been painting, so, and I love it. And yeah, I don't know.
And you do set design and stuff for theaters and
oh yeah, lots of backdrops and huge cemeteries and forests, and I love painting. I mean, but I also love performing. So it's like I'm trying to like mix it all together, mash it up, and see what happens. It's just a look inside my mind, basically, is what that entire video was.
I was having a little bit when you were Judy in the window. I was having a little Sierra Boggess flashback.
Oh yes. Yup, the hair.
Are you with me? The hair, the red.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. And so it's actually funny that you bring her up because we're in the group with the cocktail hour.
Yes, yes.
And so here I am, this little boy in this group with all these Broadway stars, and there's Sierra Boggess, and I'm like, act cool, play cool. And then, oh my gosh, that's just.
No, our great friend Richard J. Alexander. Wait, I love the smoking grandma. Billy Stritch says. Now, who was that? That was not your mother.
That was my aunt. So that's my so it's my grandmother's sister. So my great aunt. I would go over to her house all the time. She tutored everyone, and she tutored me because I needed it desperately. So I would go to her house every Tuesday, and that's when I was like, meet me in St. Louis, Victorian house. So it's so funny. And I'm so happy that it got produced, and here it is now, birthed into this world. So I'm very happy.
And what happens to that painting now?
Oh, you mean this painting? Well, it's
that painting.
This little thing. So it's going to the drag queen that wanted it. She bought it.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, yeah, great.
Yes.
That's great.
I'm very excited to give it to her. And she has a whole Wizard of Oz, ruby slippers, the doll.
Oh, sure.
She has the whole collection. So that would be a good home for it.
So we should say the reason we met is because of those cocktail Zoom parties that our friend Richard J. Alexander hosts. And it's you and me and Kristen Chenoweth and just
Norm Lewis. It's crazy.
Norm Lewis.
My mind is just like when I'm in there.
No, I know. It's a great Zoom party.
It is cool.
Colin, I just enjoy you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And I really invite people to find you on, follow you on, what's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube is just Colin O'Leary. My Instagram is col.eary, which is kind of confusing. I'll probably change that. It's col.eary, but everything else is Colin O'Leary, so it's pretty easy. Apostrophe O''L.
You're so much fun. You're so ridiculously talented and so creative. It's delightful to hang with you.
I just love
virtually. I look forward to seeing you live and in person soon.
I can't wait. It's going to happen. I'm very excited.
Colin, thank you. Thank you. And give Carol our love.
Oh, I will. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This was
Thanks, Colin. Thanks for premiering the video.
Oh, I love it. It's so cool.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sorry. This is a great show. I think this will be the perfect time to bring our trusty friend Ruby back out because we're done, basically. But we don't want you to leave yet.
I'm sorry. I was just painting. Sorry, Jim. I was
just painting a picture upside down. Because
yes, exactly.
with my feet. He's delightful, isn't he? So funny.
It is so much fun to see, like, like Colin was talking about, there are kind of two ways to approach YouTube. And you know this, but I actually do a lot of like social media consultations and blah, blah, blah. And there are two ways to look at YouTube. You can either look at it from a more analytical perspective, going through YouTube SEO and the algorithm and trying to play it that way and more by the book, even though social media really isn't by the book, and try and grow it that way. And then you have somebody like Colin who just does it because he's stupidly talented, is so creative and a genius, and doesn't even really know it yet. And then that's where I think the growth will always stem from at the end of the day, because he's doing it because he loves it. You know, I mean, amazing.
He'd do it for nobody, but he's obviously doing it for a lot of people. Which reminds me, we don't want to do it for nobody, for heaven's sake. So subscribe, as the kids say. Subscribe to the Cast Party Network.
Subscribe.
And
also,
all kinds of things will happen for you if you do.
Yes, I want to give a like one more little shout out. If you have somebody who has a story, has, maybe like an undiscovered singer, dancer, doesn't have to be in the Broadway community, doesn't have to be in the jazz community, any community. Send us, for lack of a better word, send us your pitch at castpartynetwork@gmail.com. That's the new business email that we set up for the Cast Party Network YouTube channel, because, we're trying to grow, expand, look for new talent, new people, new voices, new stories. So I just wanted to put that up there for a second and, send it in.
I mean, next week we have a big show, but next Friday you and I will be working on Virtual Halston with two guest stars that I'm very excited about. Mary Lou Hanner, who can tell you what she was doing on a Thursday in 1973. She has that kind of crazy memory. And Justin Squiggs Robertson, our very own genius caricature artist, who is finishing up tonight's show right now. In fact, has he sent it to you yet?
Yes, and this is a very special one. I'm going to try and see if you can tell why, okay?
Okay, right, so
he
just sent this? Putting my glasses on.
I'll wait.
So, you'll wait for what? Oh, for the glasses? Yeah. Look! I can look. Oh my God. Okay, that might be one of his best.
He put wax and silver hollowware on it.
I am so... Oh, and an Emmy. I see an Emmy. That is gorgeous. Squiggs, are you kidding me? This is really, really good. Oh my gosh. Justin Squiggs Robertson. Look him up on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Instagram. He's a genius. I feel like... Oh, I want to tell you about next week. That's what I feel like. It's a good cast. Brian Eads is a conductor, musical director, and fabulous producer. He's going to play a little something for us. Matthew Roden, now this guy is a brilliant singer and a guitarist. I knew him originally as this red carpet host because he's funny and charming. And then I heard him sing and I almost fainted. He is so good. You're going to love him. Edmund Bagnell, brilliant violinist, charming, funny, you know the type. Jazz vocal superstar, Tierney Sutton. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled she's doing it. I love her. C.J. Emmons, rock and roll and soul singer extraordinaire that we know from Vegas. Billy and I do Cast Party in Vegas, and he comes. Actually, he lives in California, but he joins us in Vegas too. And the queen of all things, the queen of musical theater, the queen of my heart, Leslie Margarito. Now, if that's not an entertaining show, I just don't know what you could ever want. We thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. This has been such fun. No technical snafus, except the one time that I turned my microphone off by mistake. Thank you for your donations, for thinking of us, for supporting Pajama Cast Party. And we'll see you next Monday. Thanks, Ruby. Thanks to all our brilliant guests. And we'll see you soon. Good night. Thanks for watching Pajama Cast Party. To follow us on YouTube, just hit subscribe. Click on that little bell and we'll keep you updated on future shows. You can also follow us on Instagram at Jim Caruso's Cast Party. The end.